Your cat doesn't love you the way a dog does. No tail wagging, no jumping at the door, no obvious display. So it's easy to wonder, does she actually care? Or am I just the person who fills the bowl? Here's what nobody tells you. She does care. She's been showing you for years. You just didn't know what you were looking at. 6 behaviours. Her love language. Let's get into it. It's late. You're on the couch, maybe scrolling your phone, maybe half watching something. Your cat jumps up, finds a spot near you, and turns her back to you, faces the other direction, closes her eyes. Most people read that as, great, she's ignoring me again. Classic cat. Here's what's actually happening. Domestic cats still carry a lot of their wild ancestors' instincts, whether they live in a penthouse or a studio apartment. And in the wild, the back is one of the most vulnerable spots on any animalet where a predator strikes first. So a cat choosing to show someone her back, and closing her eyes while she does it, is not a small thing in cat body language. Now I want to be careful here, because this is where a lot of cat content online overstates the science. A cat turning her back doesn't always mean I trust you with my life. Sometimes she's just comfortable, or that's simply the best napping angle, or the sun's hitting that spot of the couch. Cats aren't reading a script. But when you put it together with the rest of the picture, she's near you. Her body is loose and relaxed. Her tail isn't flicking, her ears aren't swiveling around checking for threats, and she's drifting off to sleep an arm's length from you. That combination is a genuinely meaningful signal. It suggests she doesn't feel like she needs to keep you in her sightline. And a cat only stops watching the exits around someone she's decided is safe. Watch who she does this around. Most cats won't fully turn their back and close their eyes around a stranger or someone new in the house. They'll keep at least half an eye on them, but with you, over time, that vigilance relaxes. So no, she's not ignoring you. In her own quiet way, she's telling you the room feels safe because you're in it. If your cat does this with you, let me know in the comments. I have a feeling a lot of us have been misreading this one for years. And stick around, because later in this video, I'm going to tell you about the one very human reaction that accidentally tells your cat I don't appreciate you without you ever meaning to say it. Let's move to the second one. You stand up to go to the kitchen. She's already there, sprawled across the floor like she owns the place. You step over her. She shifts just enough to be in your way again. You try to get to the bathroom. Somehow she beat you there too. This isn't clumsiness, and it isn't coincidence. Here's what makes it interesting. A 2017 study published in Behavioral Processes, led by researcher Kristen Vitale, looked at what cats actually prefer when given a choice between food, toys, scent, and human social interaction. Human interaction came out on top for the majority of cats tested ahead of food, ahead of toys. Now that doesn't mean every cat, every time, will choose you over dinner preference. Varies a lot between individual cats, and hunger definitely changes the equation. But it does push back hard on the old idea that cats are only in it for the food. If your cat genuinely wants your attention more than she wants to be left alone, the body block starts to make a lot of sense. It's her way of creating a small, deliberate interruption, a forced pause that says, before you go wherever you're going, give me 1 second. She's not asking for much. A glance, a word, a hand brushed along her back as you pass. And notice who she does this to. Not your house guests, not the delivery driver, not your cousin who visits twice a year. She walks right past them. But you she stops for, almost every time. Because on some level she's learned that you'll respond. You say her name, you laugh, you reach down without even thinking about it. That tiny exchange is exactly what she was after. It's not an obstacle course, it's an invitation. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Number 3. You're about to get tagged. Your cat sprints to the couch, or the scratching post, or let's be honest, sometimes the one chair you actually care about. She makes eye contact with you. Deliberate, sustained eye contact, and starts scratching. Long, dramatic strokes. Maybe a stretch mid-performance, completely unbothered by your reaction. You might think, she's destroying my furniture on purpose just to watch me suffer. Probably not. Cats scratch for a few overlapping reasons: to stretch their spine and shoulders, to shed the outer layer of their claws, and to mark territory. That last one is the key here. Cats have scent glands in their paw pads, and every scratch leaves a chemical signature invisible to us, unmistakable to her. So when she scratches directly in front of you, watching you the whole time, she's not just marking the couch. Researchers who study feline scent marking believe this kind of scratching is at least partly a social behaviour, not purely territorial housekeeping. She may be marking the space, while also engaging with you socially in the same moment, folding you into the announcement, so to speak. It's less "get off my lawn" and more "this is our lawn, and I want you to see me claim it." The eye contact during the scratch is an interesting clue. Rather than a hard, proven tell cat body language, researchers are still working out exactly how much of this is deliberate communication versus habit. But the pattern is consistent enough across cat owners that it's worth paying attention to. Practical tip either way: get a sturdy scratching post and put it somewhere she actually likes, near a window, near where the family gathers, not tucked away in a closet. It'll save your furniture, sure, but it also gives her a dedicated stage to keep sending you this message, day after day. One more thing worth mentioning here: the location she picks usually isn't random either. A lot of cats will specifically target the piece of furniture closest to wherever you spend the most time, rather than a random corner of the house. If you've ever wondered why she ignores the empty end of the couch and goes straight for the armrest next to you, that's part of the same pattern. She's not just marking territory in general, she's marking the territory that includes you in it, in the exact spot where you two overlap the most. While we're on the subject of things cats do right in front of you, kneading deserves a mention too. That slow, rhythmic pressing of the paws, sometimes on a blanket, sometimes directly on your lap, claws included whether you like it or not. The common explanation is that it's a leftover kitten behaviour, a motion cats use while nursing to stimulate milk flow, and that adult cats fall back into it when they're feeling that same sense of comfort and security. It's a tidy explanation, and it's probably at least part of the story. But like a lot of cat behaviour, the full picture is likely more mixed. Some researchers think kneading also has roots in scent marking, and even old instincts around preparing a sleeping spot in the wild. What we can say with more confidence is the context it shows up in. Kneading almost always happens when a cat is relaxed, often purring, often right before settling in to sleep next to you. Whatever the exact origin, it's consistently paired with comfort, not stress, and that pairing is the part worth paying attention to. Number 4. This one has nothing to do with food. Well, mostly. She follows you to the kitchen. Fine, food lives there. That tracks. But then she follows you to the laundry room. She waits outside the bathroom door while you shower. She relocates to whatever room you walk into next, and just watches you check your email. A 2019 study out of Oregon State University, led by researcher Kristen Vitale, the same lab that did the food versus attention study, found that cats form attachment bonds with their caregivers that look structurally similar to how infants and young children attach to a parent. Psychologists call this a secure base. When the caregiver is present, the individual explores more freely and seems more at ease. When the caregiver leaves, that confidence drops. The takeaway isn't that your cat is trailing you out of neediness or boredom. It's proximity to the thing in her environment that makes everything else feel manageable. Not every cat does this dramatically. Some just end up in the same room as you, over and over, without turning it into a production, a quieter version of the same underlying pull. If your cat consistently gravitates toward whatever room you're in, that counts too. She doesn't do this for the neighbours. She doesn't rearrange her afternoon for someone she barely knows. She does it for you, quietly and consistently, without asking for anything back. There's a version of this that shows up even when she's not physically near you, sitting by the door a few minutes before you usually get home. or perking up at the specific sound of your car versus a stranger's. Cats have sharp hearing and a strong sense of routine, and a lot of owners notice their cat starts waiting before there's any obvious cue that they're about to walk in. It's hard to study rigorously, since it depends so much on the individual cat and household, but it's one of the more commonly reported patterns among long-term cat owners. And it fits the same underlying idea: she's tracking your presence and absence far more closely than her laid-back reputation suggests. Number 5. This is the one. Don't get this one wrong. Your cat drops something at your feet: a dead mouse, a half-alive cricket, a leaf dragged in from outside, a sock stolen from the laundry basket, and looks up at you, waiting. Most people's instinct is to recoil. No. Bad cat. Or to grab it and toss it before she's even finished her little presentation. I want to push back on that instinct, gently, because there's more going on here than it looks like. We can't say with certainty that your cat is literally trying to teach you to hunt. That's a popular explanation, and it's rooted in real behaviour. Mother cats do bring prey back to teach kittens survival skills. It's a genuinely useful comparison, but we should be honest that a single adult cat handing you a sock isn't proof of a teaching intention. Cats bring things to trusted people for a mix of reasons: predatory drive, play, curiosity, and social bonding all overlap here, and researchers don't have a clean, tidy answer for which one is driving any single cat in any single moment. What we can say, with more confidence, cats are selective about who they share resources with. It's well documented that this kind of gift-giving behaviour is generally reserved for the humans, or occasionally other animals, that a cat has a close relationship with. She's not doing this for the mail carrier. She's not doing this for your cousin. So even without pinning down the exact motivation, the pattern itself is the message. This is a trusted person behaviour. You're on the very short list of individuals she considers hers. And here's the mistake, the one from earlier in the video. When you recoil, or scold her, or scoop it up and throw it away in front of her, without acknowledging her at all from her perspective, you just rejected an offering she chose to bring specifically to you. It doesn't ruin the relationship. Cats are resilient, but it's a small, avoidable miscommunication. So here's what to do instead. Thank her. Genuinely look at her. Say something warm, let a beat pass, so she can register that the gesture landed. Then, once she's walked away satisfied, deal with it however you need to. The dead mouse still needs to go in the trash. That part hasn't changed. But the moment of acknowledgement matters to her more than we usually give it credit for. It's also worth saying, if your cat has never done this, that doesn't mean she doesn't care. Indoor-only cats with no access to prey obviously can't bring you a mouse. And plenty of deeply bonded cats never develop this particular habit at all. Some substitute it with a toy instead, dropping the same stuffed mouse at your feet over and over, expecting you to throw it. Number 6. This one is easy to miss because it doesn't look like much. You've had a rough day. You're sitting quietly, not really doing anything, maybe staring at nothing. Maybe just tired. Your cat, who's been across the room minding her own business, slowly gets up, walks over, and settles in next to you. She didn't do this an hour ago, when you were fine. She did it now. There is real research on the human side of this relationship. A 2015 study out of Indiana University, for instance, found that people who regularly interact with cats through online cat content reported measurable mood benefits. And there's a broader body of research linking pet companionship to lower reported stress. That part is solid. What's less settled, and worth being upfront about, is exactly how much cats consciously register our emotional states, versus simply responding to changes in our behaviour: stillness, posture, a quieter voice, a different routine. We can't know exactly what's going on inside her head in that moment, but we do know cats are attentive to subtle shifts in the humans they live with. And a cat choosing to approach specifically during those quiet, low moments, rather than during the busy, high-energy ones, is a pattern worth noticing. At minimum, it's a meaningful sign of social attachment, even if we're careful not to claim more than the science actually supports. She didn't come over to be fed. She didn't come over to play. Something in the room shifted, and she came anyway. Think back through every time your cat showed up out of nowhere during a hard moment. It probably happened more than you remember. Before we wrap up, it's worth stepping back and looking at all 6 of these together, because there's a pattern running underneath every single one. The back turn is about vulnerability. The body block is about wanting your attention. Scratch theatre is about inclusion. The shadow is about proximity and security. The offering is about trust. And the slow approach is about noticing you specifically, at the moment you need it. Different behaviours, same underlying thread she's built her whole sense of safety and belonging around you being in her life. That's also why so many of these get misread. None of them look like affection in the way we expect affection to look. There's no tail wag, no obvious excitement, nothing loud. Cat affection is quiet, deliberate, and almost always about proximity, trust, or inclusion rather than performance. Once you know that, you start noticing it everywhere, the way she chooses the chair nearest you instead of the empty one. The way she times her naps around your schedule, the way she repositions herself throughout the day to always have a line of sight to wherever you are. There's one more signal that ties all of this together, and it's probably the easiest to test for yourself tonight. The slow blink. You'll catch your cat looking at you, and instead of a sharp, alert stare, her eyes half close, slowly, then open again. Some owners call it a cat kiss. Researchers who've actually studied this, including a 2020 study out of the University of Sussex, found that cats were more likely to slow blink back at their owners after being slow blinked at first, and were also more likely to approach a stranger who slow blinked at them compared to one who simply stared. It's one of the few behaviours on this list with a study designed specifically to test it, rather than one we're inferring from patterns. So tonight, try it. Look at your cat from across the room, blink slowly and deliberately, then look away, see what she does. A lot of cats will blink right back. You didn't just become the person who feeds her. Somewhere along the way, without any fuss or announcement, you became part of the world she feels safest in. She learned how you move, what you sound like when something's off, which spots on the couch are yours, and she's been paying attention ever since. If your cat does any of these 6 things, tell me in the comments. I want to hear which one hit closest to home. And if this changed how you think about your cat even a little, subscribe, there's a lot more of this coming. I'll see you in the next one.